Hey folks, welcome back. This is my August in review. I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite fragrances from the month of August, some okay performers, some I'm considering getting rid of, and also do a category of awards that I do every month just for fun. Let's jump right in. So we're going to start with the category of Best Blind Buy. And I have Acqua Divina by Bvlgari. I purchased this at Marshall's back, I think it was in December of 2020 on a whim. Thought that the bottle looked kind of cool and was curious about it, hadn't heard anything about it. And I really do enjoy this fragrance. It shined here in the summer. I think this would be great in any season, but was wonderful in the summer. At the top, this comes across salty and citrusy at the same time. And as it settles down, it reminds me of hanging out poolside. There's something about this that is reminiscent of the air. When you're hanging out at the pool, it's both like hot, just summer air, and you get chlorine and other chemicals that are coming off of the pool and mixing with sunblock and all of that. This reminds me a little bit of that. It also is a bit woody in the base, and it's just a great summer smell. There's some sophistication about this fragrance. My husband really liked it on me. That's always a plus. I'm in a household of a very tough audience between my husband and the kids. They're really harsh on fragrances, so when they say they like something, it then sort of comes up to the top of the list for me. Acqua Divina. The sprayer is like that. I would love to repurchase this if I run out. That's how much I like this. Best blind buy. So in the category of best bottle, hang with me here, is from Comptoir. This is called, I think it's pronounced Gioia. Gioia. If anyone knows, please drop me a phonetic pronunciation in the comments. This bottle is heavy. I purchased this in a haul from the company called Aroma Concepts. They have a lot of affordable Middle Eastern fragrances on their website, as well as fragrances from dupe houses or inspired by houses. And my husband and I did a huge haul back, I think it was in February sometime, and I'll link that video down below. And this was in there. And so the bottle feels like metallic. I'm pretty sure this is plastic, but it comes across as this metallic studded bottle. And it opens like that. There's the atomizer. This is a soft floral fragrance. It's got top notes of plumeria and peony, lily of the valley in the middle, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it works in here, and then an ambery base. So it's floral and it's light and it's fluffy, but it has some substance to it. It's great for summer and would also do well in other seasons as well. But this bottle is what I call so gaudy that it's beautiful. So this is my best bottle. But wait, you get two for the price of one here in August. This is also my tackiest bottle for the same reason. So it's both my favorite and my tackiest for the month of August, because this is quite gaudy. Quite gaudy, but listen, I love it nonetheless. That's from Comptoir, and I believe it's Gioia. The sexiest fragrance for August, hands down, is Olympēa Intense. I only have this little bottle, and you can see the dent that I've put in this so far. My husband loves this on me. Again, that makes it a big deal in my eyes. This is salty, it's vanilla, it's amber. If I didn't know any better, I would tell you that this had either almond or pistachio or heliotrope or something that gave the sense of like having a nutty accord in here. There's also like a very, very slight popcorn type of smell combined with that nutty thing going on. That's not listed in the notes, at least not on Fragrantica, but that's what I pick up from this. It's slightly powdery too. I really enjoy this. I find this to be a very sensual, warm, cozy fragrance. This is great, again, for all seasons. Did nicely here in the summer, but I look forward to wearing this in the fall and the winter as well. The best everyday type of fragrance that I wore in August is hands down McQueen Eau Blanche. Now, people are either tuberose lovers or tuberose haters. There's very few people that are sort of just meh or could take it or leave it. You love it or you hate it. I love it. This is what I call a very polite, well-mannered, demure tuberose. It has a little bit of woodiness in here. It has a yellow flower note. I think it's ylang-ylang. And it's just soft. It's soft. It's feminine. It's light, but it has a little bit of presence and works really well in warm weather. I enjoyed wearing this. It behaved and lasted nicely throughout the day. I'd say a good 6 hours before I had to reapply. And it's just pleasant. It's that friend that never offends that you can take to any occasion. And, the person won't stand out, won't steal your thunder, won't do anything but just be a lovely supporter. McQueen Eau Blanche. The best fragrance to gift out of my August lineup is, in my opinion, Mon Guerlain Intense. So I have the regular Mon Guerlain, a beautiful gift to give to anyone as well if the person likes lavender. What's unique about this is that there is some lavender and iris in here, but what's prominent most is this gorgeous vanilla with a hint of rose and a little tiny bit of jasmine. I find it to be a very elegant fragrance. Another one that could easily be in the sexy category, but there's something more how do I put this, like elevated ladylike versus being like sexy Jessica Rabbit-ish about this. It's more elegant and it comes across maybe even more mature of a fragrance, one that you might consider like an auntie smell. If you remember those hugs from your aunts that wore big, bodacious floral perfumes in your youth. And it does have still that hint of lavender in there and a woody base. The next category is the best for the season. So we are in August here in Virginia. It has been hot and humid. This is the dog days of the summer here in this part of the country, and I'm in central Virginia, so it gets even more humid and hot. And what I've chosen is pure white linen. That's wonderful for the summer. If you tried the original white linen by Estee Lauder, you know that it is a very aldehydic, soapy, clean linen kind of fragrance. This one is a bit more toned down and different in the sense that it's more citrus and green than the original white linen, a little bit more bearable for summer, maybe a bit more modern of a smell. It's still rather sharp for people who are used to softer, more rounded fragrances. This one has edges to it, but in a way that I like. I love the cleanness, the sharpness of it. It still has that fresh linen smell, but just sprinkled with heavy citrus and some florals as well, heavy florals as well. So citrus, green, floral, pure white linen, excellent for the dog days of summer. In the category of special occasion fragrances, I mentioned that Mon Guerlain Intense is a good one, but I have chosen Tangier Vanille from Erin. This is a really lovely, like imagine Mon Guerlain Intense, maybe toned down one notch for a more crowd-pleasing kind of fragrance, because that one is rather intense. This is the same in that it's vanilla, it's woody, it's powdery. This also has a hint of rose, just like the Mon Guerlain Intense. This also has a little bit of citrus. It's very pleasant and a lot rounder even than the Mon Guerlain Intense, which I consider thick. It's a thick, let's do it this way. This is a sort of thicker, more dense fragrance than the Tangier Vanille. This one has a little bit more airiness and lightness to it, but is lovely for special occasion in the sense that you could sit next to anyone yet still be dolled up in a beautiful fragrance without suffocating anyone out. Tangier Vanille, wonderful purchase from Erin. In the category of the biggest surprise for me, I'll have to put in Flora Botanica from Balenciaga. This has made the rounds on YouTube over and over again. You probably can imagine exactly what it smells like. It's a green, rosy fragrance with a hint of carnation and a cannabis note as well. It comes across rather herbal to me. The reason that this is a surprise is, one, when I tested it a while back, this was well over a year ago, I didn't love it so much. I actually liked Rosa Botanica, which is its cousin in the Balenciaga line, but I believe it's discontinued. Let me know in the comments if that's incorrect. I liked that one more and disliked this one at the time. There was something like too green and odd and strange and bizarre about it for me. But recently I purchased it again, following the hype on YouTube. I didn't want to miss out. I have a serious case of FOMO. Send psychological help. But I wore this here in August and was really surprised that my family, all of them enjoyed it. They thought it smelled really nice and kept asking, what am I wearing? What am I wearing? That it smelled really lovely. So now I want to go get the full bottle. I purchased a little one because I wasn't sure that it would really jive with me. But it is lovely and it is different and it is unique. If you've been watching me, you know I kind of like bizarre scents. And this is definitely bizarre. It's not as like blind buy worthy and universally likable as YouTube reviews would have you think. I don't think so. I think this is a strange one that has gotten a lot of hype. And when hype happens, people try to convince themselves that they do like something because like me, they don't want to be missing out. And therefore, this has sort of taken a front seat on YouTube, but rightfully so. There's something so interesting and different and unique about this. It has a tiny bit of like spiciness to it at the same time that it's green and rosy. A fragrance that I would not recommend anyone to blind buy is Tom Ford's Orchid Soleil. This was a purchase for this summer. It was a blind buy for me. I love the bottle and I am a Tom Ford fan. People are either fans or not. I'm a fan. Don't want to pay Tom Ford prices, so I always get them on sale. And I believe this one is discontinued. So this fragrance is really interesting and really bizarre. It's giving me vibes of Dune by Christian Dior, mixed with Nude by Bvlgari, mixed with maybe a lang-a-lang, some kind of a lang-a-lang fragrance, to be honest with you, is what I'm picking up out of this. And I don't think there's a lang-a-lang in here. Let me check the notes. Not that is listed on Fragrantica. So this is a fragrance that's really hard to describe. The notes on the website don't tell you anything about what this smells like. There's even a whipped cream note in here, a chestnut note. To me, this smells like yellow florals dusted down. Like if they were topped by powder, patted down, and muted. With a little bit of woodiness on the surround. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but those are the words that are coming to mind. Hang with me here. Someone described this, and I think it was Claire Smith when she reviewed this, described this as being a little bit of a dusty smell. And I agree with tuberose is a note in here, but do I pick up tuberose? Maybe very vaguely, but more than that, I would say I smell just like that classic ylang-ylang kind of note. Do I like this? Yes. Do I love it? No. Would I repurchase? No. Will I use this bottle? Yes. So I ended up actually layering this with, you'll hear about this later, but Aloha Tiare from Comptoir, Sud Pacifique, and they worked pretty decently together as a nice summer fragrance. So this is an interesting one. I want to try this again in the winter. I'm glad I have it, especially because it's a discontinued bottle. And you know how we are about collecting things like that. But Orchid Soleil from Tom Ford. Don't blind buy. Next, we get into my 3 favorite fragrances from the month of August, and these were really easy for me to pick. I'm going to start with the gorgeous Neroli Boheme or Boheme from Carolina Herrera's Confidential line. I love the ones that I've tried so far. I originally purchased 4 and then got 2 more, so I've got 6 total from this line, and they are gorgeous. The bottles are spectacular. They're super heavy, super luxe feeling. They have these gorgeous magnetic caps on them, and every single one I've tried is a stunner of a fragrance. Some last longer than others. This Neroli one lasted me through the day. It was beautiful. This is a eau de parfum concentration. It is bright, citrusy. It reminds me of the Neroli that's in Tom Ford's Soleil Blanc. That same kind of bright, sharp, heavily citrus smelling Neroli. Right away, really beautiful, except that it also has some jasmine in there, which softens up that neroli. But it is a really strong fragrance. The bottle is great for it because it's a very green, citrus, strong kind of scent. I really like this. Beautiful for summer. It's refreshing and wonderful to put on. The second fragrance that is a favorite in the top 3 from August is Bubble Bath by Maison Margiela. This so it doesn't smell to me like a bubble bath. When I think about running a bath, I think of really clean, soapy, shampoo-y smells. I guess it has some of that in it, but I also get this really light, effervescent coconut. If you can put those 2 words together, imagine a coconut smell that has some bubbles infused in it. That's kind of what I get out of here, with a little bit of hint of spa smell. So if you think about when you walk into a spa and you get that like hint of lavender and other like aromatherapy kinds of oils mixed together, a hint of that with some effervescent coconut, whatever we think that means. And you have Bubble Bath from Maison Margiela. I was inspired to purchase this from Giselle at GB Fragrances. She spoke so highly of it. I wasn't going to pick this up, but then I took a chance and I'm glad I did. Thanks, Giselle. My third top fragrance for August is a fragrance that I have loved for a long time. It is Armani's Acqua di Gioia. I had a bottle of it when it was in the old bottle shape. I think I went through 2 of those, and this might be my third, or maybe this is my second, and I'm imagining things. But I really love how this is a bright, citrusy, clean, fresh smelling fragrance. There's a hint of aquatic in here. Light. It's not a hint, actually. There's a lot of aquatic in here. It reminds me of Escape from Calvin Klein. It's got that same like light summer aquatic smell to it, mixed with florals, mixed with citrus, just bright and clean. I put this on and it's immediately uplifting. It can be a little bit powerful. It's got a little lime at the top. So some people are overwhelmed by this fragrance, but it's just right for me and I adore it. It's a wonderful, like quintessential summer smell. Acqua di Gioia. The next category, which is my bottom 3, and just a reminder, if you've watched these episodes before, you know bottom 3 doesn't mean I don't want them or don't like them. It just means of all the ones that I wore in August, these 3 had something about them that put them in the bottom category. Are they leaving the collection? No, let's be clear. So let's talk about them. The first one is Tom Ford's White Patchouli. Love this super clean, sleek bottle. And this fragrance is what I call a clean patchouli. It's flat, and that's a good thing. It's not like the super robust, heady, earthy patchouli. It's a flatter, cleaner, simpler kind of patchouli, and is lovely to wear if you want a patchouli scent but don't want to smell like that corner incense store. You know what I mean? And it's nice. I like it a lot. It's not like the most compelling smell of the bunch, which is why I have it in the bottom 3. Do I still like it? Will I still wear it? Absolutely. But of all the fragrances, maybe this was not the most exciting fragrance to put on, but still nice. The same goes for Demeter Thunderstorm. Now, I've heard people pronounce this Demeter. I'm saying Demeter. This smells just like a thunderstorm, you guys. Like right before the clouds turn their grayest, their thickest, and their angriest. That smell in the air, which I understand is called petrichor. It smells like that, and it is amazing in that way. The reason it's in the bottom 3 is only because it's a very particular kind of smell. You have to be in the mood to smell like a thunderstorm. How many people go into a department store or go onto fragrance sites and type in the note of thunderstorm? No one does that. But because I'm a weirdo, I like fragrances like this. So this is one that I do enjoy, but because it's one that I can only wear when I'm in a very specific mood, it's in the bottom 3. If you like to smell like thunderstorms, grab this. The other one that's in my bottom 3, for no particular reason other than I like the others more, but I still like this one and I'm glad that I bought it, is from the Acqua Allegoria line from Guerlain, Coconut Fizz. This, listen to me, this smells like the bottom of a 7-Eleven Slurpee tastes. You know how you get to the very bottom and it's mostly just like air and ice, and you're trying to like suck the last little bits of juice out of the straw? That taste you get in your mouth is what this smells like. It reminds me also of Bubble Bath from Maison Margiela. Between the 2, I like Bubble Bath more. So this Coconut Fizz does have a little bit of a coconut smell. It's a lighter, again, more effervescent type of coconut smell. And there's something a little bit fruity in here too, just very ever so slightly, like the super duper distant cherry bottom of the 7-Eleven Slurpee smell / taste in here. So it's still nice, but again, of the bunch that I wore, so this is what this means. I wore a really fantastic bunch of fragrances in August for me to have to put coconut, Demeter, and white patchouli in the bottom 3. You know, that's saying a lot about this whole group of fragrances. So why is it in the bottom 3? Although I like it, it maybe isn't the most exciting smell, and I won't reach for this often either. I'll have to be in the mood for it, just like I have to be in the mood to wear Thunderstorm. That's all. It's still lovely, really great fragrances. Let's talk next then about fragrances that I think are on the chopping block that I am considering getting rid of for some reason or another. I'm going to start with Aloha Tiare by Comptoir Sud Pacifique, which I wore today, combined with Orchid Soleil. And this is just a classic tiara smell. It's not the most exciting fragrance, and if truth be told, I would probably reach for other tiara-based fragrances before this one. There's nothing wrong with this. I think someone would really love this. I would recommend this to someone that's interested in a tiara smell. I wouldn't dissuade them. Dissuade them? Discourage them. Did I just use dissuade in the right way? I wouldn't discourage someone from using this Aloha Tiare or grabbing it. I think it's a nice bargain for a tiara fragrance. Just maybe not my very favorite of that bunch, because I have others that I love so much, like Guerlain's Terracotta and so forth. And this I think of as like a layering fragrance. So I may be saying goodbye to this. I'm not sure. Speaking of tiara, another fragrance that I blind purchased right I think it was at the beginning of spring or so is Live Colorfully by Kate Spade. I kept hearing about this having a nice coconut note. I don't know what I think of this fragrance. There's a part of me that likes it and wants to keep trying it, and there's a part of me that enjoys other fragrances that smell like this more. And so I'm thinking, what's the point of keeping this? There's something about it that smells a little tiny bit artificial in a way that just kind of bugs me. This has water lily at the top, not my favorite. In the middle is where I really like this. It's gardenia, tiara, and coconut, and it has vanilla and musk in the base and a little amber. I want this to be more of what it is and less of like this artificial smashed together bunch of notes. There, I just said it. Maybe that's what's bothering me, that I feel like it's maybe not put together in the best way. I don't know. I can't explain to you why this isn't floating my boat, but I feel like it should, and I'm upset that it's not. Do you ever have that experience with a fragrance? That's me with Live Colorfully. My final fragrance that I don't want to admit I don't love as much as I think I do, because there's a part of me that does really like it. It's Rain from the Clean Reserve line. This is nice. Don't get me wrong, and I will tell anyone that this is nice. There's nothing about this that turns me off. It smells like fresh rain and fresh laundry and detergent. Laundry detergent kind of mixed together very gently. It is a gentle, light, nice, clean smell. Clean. You see what I did there? But it's not one that I feel compelled to reach for. I did mix this together with Thunderstorm on the day that I wore it, and that was a nice combination. But this on its own, maybe it's just really something about it that doesn't fit with my personality. I'm not sure. I don't dislike this. It's just not one that I see myself reaching a lot for. And the reason that I really don't want to get rid of it is I've just collected a bunch of the clean fragrances. This is so shallow. I love the bottles. I just love them. I love looking at them together, and I love knowing that I have a good portion of the collection. Is that shallow? Yeah. Do I care? No. So I'm not sure if I'll get rid of it or not, but this is one that I'm kind of like, I don't know whether we belong together. We're the best match, you know? You ever been in a relationship with someone and you work perfectly fine together, everything's okay, but it's just not doing it for you for some reason? That's kind of how I feel about Clean Rain. So folks, that's my August lineup. Have you worn any of these? If so, what do you think? Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, friends.